I found it. Hello, 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 hello.
Hey, Joanna.
Hey, Clayton.
Go ahead and give everybody fair warning. All my rugrats are home from school. They're doing homework and everything. So we'll try to stay muted. But when I unmute, you might hear a whole bunch of racket. Just ignore that.
No worries. No worries. How's everyone doing? I have just gone over so many deals. I think I'm going blind. Uh, what have you guys been up to? Oh my goodness. How many newbies we got in here?
Hello, everyone. Dennis Peak here.
Love to see you, Dennis. Love to see you. We got Christopher, Patrick, Jennifer, Stacy, Ben, Melanie, Susanna. Did I say that right? Yes, I got it right. Score. Ben's coming in. Got lots of hellos in the chat. Michael. All right. So, like, the main reason I did this, I kind of put that in the description, if you will. The main reason I did this is I'm on the call with a lot of you, helping you to do real estate. I thought if we kind of coagulated a little bit to help each other out. The faster I can support people, the faster we can all do real estate. We've been doing a lot of underwriting, and a lot of you have asked me, how the heck did you do 134 doors in 12 months? And I'm a GP on all of them. Sometimes the easier route is just to be an LP and just tag on to somebody else's deal. And that works. That totally works. Sometimes you miss out on the education of it. So hopefully you guys get a little bit of education out of this and be able to GP your own deals. Who here wants to be a GP on their own deals? That's pretty much everybody there.
I do.
I love it. I love it. And so if you don't mind me asking, just for the structure of the call, some of you are on the road traveling or can't come on. The more you could be on camera, the better, so that we can get to know each other. Because I don't know if you know this about real estate, but you get more done when you can connect with people, and it's hard to connect when you're not on camera. Because thank goodness for Zoom, but it is Zoom. So we got to do our best with it. We're not in person, and thankfully we get to be in our own houses or wherever we're at, traveling and hustling and doing the Zoom. But connect as much as you can. And that's the whole purpose of that Telegram group as well, is, connect with as many people as you can. Like, that's the purpose. That's why it was created, to network and connect. So I say that because that was, I would have to say 98% of how everything happened for me was connecting with people and diving into, what each other likes and doesn't like. And, I'm not here to preach to y'all. I'm just going to share you my story a little bit. And then you guys share what you are looking for and how we can all support each other. Go here. Clayton, Teresa, do you mind if I make you host to grab these people coming in? Meet my team here.
Yeah.
How did I get my team? So Clayton Garland there, he is head of our acquisitions, and Teresa Fox is asset management. So we're going to learn some things about underwriting today, which is always so sexy. We call her my freak in the spreadsheets because she just loves a good Excel spreadsheet. And thank goodness, right? Because it's not everybody's jam. So there's like 3 things you guys get to choose from. You get to choose, acquisitions, if you to Clayton talking and talking to the broker and walking properties, he does really great job of doing that and asking great questions because, and he'll be the first one to tell you this. Some people don't like him because he's pretty direct, right? He just chuckled. And the brokers appreciate that. So it's no fussing around the bush with him. And then Teresa, you can't get her out of a spreadsheet. She's just like going this number, what? It's not down to the penny yet. And so that's her thing. I'm saying this, and I love to make fun and joke, but all kidding aside, they're super serious about their real estate, and I'm serious about my real estate. And what I see happen a lot, that happens a lot in this industry is people, they get married too quick. They joint venture, and it's encouraged in a lot of communities, not even just this one. There is some slight differences here, but in a lot of communities out in our world throughout the nation, it's encouraged to squad up, or join a joint venture and And I can't even tell you a lot of the horror stories that I've heard in doing that. So please don't take that lightly to just go partner with somebody. One of the reasons I'm doing this roundtable, a roundtable is everyone's going to talk and chat and participate and ask questions and do all the things and share. But one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I want to get to know y'all. Like, I don't know if I want to play with you or not. You don't know if you want to play with me or not, So that's one of the things, Clayton and I jumped on a call, and he's like, well, I'm serious. Here's all the things. And he just listed it all out. And we share some of the same values, right? And then the same thing with Teresa. And I've watched Clayton under pressure. I've watched him under pressure. I've watched him lose his noodle a little bit. And you know what? It really wasn't that bad. Okay, I got to say that. I have worked with people that have lost their noodle, and I'm like, I can't even be in the same room with you because your noodle is just too lost. So I always like to say, who are you when shit goes south? And underwriting has a huge is a huge part of that, because if you underwrite correctly, if you underwrite with diligence, if you underwrite as a team, there's no surprises. And you've got it down to the penny, like for the most part, right? Like we're never exact in this world. But with Teresa, I don't know, I beg to differ. She's pretty exact down to the penny, and she's very conservative. So that's why we decided to all get married. We all courted each other, and it was Clayton and I, and then Teresa and I have been talking and having a side chat, and then Clayton and I both asked her to marry us. And she says yes. She said yes to the JV. So and so I want you guys to have fun with this, first of all, but be serious about it too. I've been in real estate for 25 years. I've seen a lot of shit. I'm not brand new. And if there's anything about underwriting that you need to know, please ask, because the acquisition part of it is relationships. The capital raising part of it is relationships. But the underwriting is where people kind of guess, or I think someone told me, or, you're not quite sure, because there's different calculators out there. And Grant has a great one that you can like jimmy off the bat and go boom, 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 5 minutes to know exactly if you want to. It's kind of a North Star calculator. It's not exact. You don't go verbatim off of that. There's so much more involved. Okay. But it helps you to know, do I want to go forward? Okay. And so the opposite side of all of this is, don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. The underwriting is important. Oh, look, JC's here. And David at the same time. That was funny. Like, I really thought Grant was here. That's cool. Anyway, so it could be, underwriting is super important in many facets. It helps you to understand the people that are around you, and it helps you to understand, real estate on a whole nother level. Okay. So my question to all of you, and everything that was just said, why I chose my team, how I got my 134 units as GP, asset management and capital raising. What questions do you guys have? I want to hear from all of you. Again, this is a round table. And where are you stuck? How do you want to move forward? How can I support you? How could we support you?
So Joanna, I'd like to add to that. Appreciate everything you said. So like Joanna said, we're here to help. We know that most of y'all are part of other groups, other calls and everything, and we're not trying to take nothing away from those. A lot of them are from very good calls. There's a lot of good information there. But Joanna approached me and Teresa a while back and was talking about, maybe we should start a call to sort of dig a little deeper. All right. So that's really where we're wanting to focus is we don't really want to do surface questions, right? Like what's NOI, what's this? Now we will. It's not that we'll shy away from it, right? But we don't really want to do something where you can do a quick Google search and get your answer, right? We want to dig deep. We want to get real deep in it. You hear people say, oh, we'll submit an LOI. And then, if it's accepted, then we'll worry about a PSA and then we'll do this and we'll do that. And it's all surface level. Okay. But the question is, okay, after I do my PSA, what now? Like, where do I dive in? How deep do I go here? When does lawyers get involved? How deep do you go into this? Instead of just up here at the surface level, well, yes, do your LOI and then just wait for a return, right? We want to dive deeper into the subject. And we all got a little bit of, caveats, right? Joanna's the definitely the capital raiser and she's the face of the team. But we've all got our little pieces and our little niches that we can dive real deep into. And that's really what we sort of want to focus this around. We're happy to answer any kind of surface level questions, but if there's a real process, and we don't have all the answers, right? So we'll tell you. We'll tell you we're not sure. Let us do some research. Let us do some digging. We'll get back with you. But we really want to get deep into the weeds so that when you're there, you've got an ideal how to sort of manage those waters instead of someone just saying, yep, get the product, you get your down payment, you get it under control, then you just go have fun, manage the property, go do your thing, wait for some money to come in. Well, we all know that that's not going to be the case. It's going to be a ton more work there. What is that work? What is that unknown? And that's what we're there hoping to try to figure out, how we can help you to clear up some of that unknown. So feel free to dive into anything you want to go with.
Yeah, and then good points, Clayton. And I always talk about relationships. That's kind of who I am and the major point of our company. And in a relationship, your financials are like, that's the number one reason for divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you take that into multifamily and your financials aren't in order, if you don't understand it, let's just go there. Not even include talking about your personal stuff, but if you don't understand underwriting, if you don't understand the deeper part of multifamily, it leads to divorce, right? It leads to anxiety. It leads to feeling, not right. And real estate investing is scary enough as it is, right? When you're first stepping into real estate, like, holy crap, what the hell did I just do? Yeah, I see a lot of you just related to that. And it's real. It's real. And so that's the point Clayton's trying to make is, I've been through multiple deals and I've been in real estate for 25 years. So I want to make sure that you guys understand it's not just as easy as saying, oh, I want this one, this 48 unit over here, and we just set out an LOI. There's much deeper stuff that goes into it than that. And I think you guys were kind of missing out on that. So that's, you know, I want to build the relationship and make sure you guys understand those things. Melanie. Nope.
Now?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So my question is twofold. I think I spent a lot of time trying to understand underwriting, and before I joined Grant's mentorship group, I had spent $25,000 on another mentorship program, and I call it my $25,000 Excel spreadsheet, which is pretty thorough, but I didn't know how to use it, right? And it took me months to figure out how to use this thing, and where I got stuck was not understanding the basics. So when I joined Grant, then I understood the basics, right? The underwriting napkin calculator was great for launching me into the understanding sort of the depths of what underwriting is all about. So what I landed on now is understanding how to forecast, right? Understanding how to, what I call, feed all the investors off of this deal, because I obviously need to come up with, depending on the size of the deal, you know, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, and I need to be able to make it attractive for X number of investors to come up to that raise amount. And that's when I started to understand what I need to know more of and better understand is the business plan, how to execute it, knowing who I need to partner with, property managers and the like, because then it becomes the business. But so what I'm trying to focus on now is really trying to understand how to better develop a business plan as it relates to an asset, and then how to execute that and know what my numbers look like before I even submit an LOI. Now, I don't know if that's too much work before an LOI, but that's where I feel the most comfortable. But now that I'm starting to kind of put all these pieces together, what's also coming up, and which is what I really appreciate about you, Joanna, is the capital raising part. Because where I was hearing a lot of is, you know, find the deal, the money will come. And I'm like, I don't know. I have been 20 years in healthcare operations. I don't know nothing about real estate. People are going to look at me and say, yeah, Melanie, that's really great, but that's not what we know you for. So I don't know how to bring the two together. But for starters, for me, it's about understanding the deal very well, understanding the business plan and the execution, the returns, right? The expectations in very realistic, tangible ways that an investor who knows me well enough will say, yes, that's a good one, Melanie. It's not necessarily because of me, but it's because what I've did and what I've proven, what I can demonstrate. So, you know, kind of bringing it all together, Joanna, I just still am caught on the capital raising side. Like, I am deathly afraid of calling brokers, and it bugs me. That's the biggest wall I have. So I'm trying to get myself to call brokers in other markets so that I don't mess anything up. But unfortunately, I've been calling and connecting to brokers in the markets that I like, because I've just been looking at properties. So those are the two folds. Like, I'm trying to understand the business plan and what I might be missing, what I don't understand, and then the capital raise side of the equation. Because once I can put those pieces into this grand puzzle, I think I'm ready to take a big leap of submitting my first LOI. So if you can shed some light on that.
That was
Thanks.
good. Hallelujah. Love it. Who else feels the same way? So let me just start with a business plan. When I teach real estate investing, so I have students across the nation in the single family sector.
1 second, Joanna. I think we might have actually lost her. Oh, no, there she is.
Right here.
So,
She's right
sorry,
here.
she moved around. I just want to make sure we didn't
That's
lose her. She jumped down.
That's a good catch. But what I want to point out is how I teach is knowing your market first. Your market is number one. If you don't know your market, you're not in real estate. You have to know what's going on in the market, and not just that local market, but the nation. Now, what's happening in the nation that's affecting that market? Because I also see investors just go blinders on, and they're only looking in their small little area. They don't understand what's affecting the down the road, right? So your market's number one, and your investors, and this is huge when you're talking about capital raising, because if you could talk about your market and know your market, they feel more comfortable in investing with you because you know. So number one, market. And when I say market, there's like a whole list of things that belong under that. And I'm just going to say market for right now. Okay. Number two is know your buy box. Like, what are you buying? What is your do's, your don'ts? Have that, and you're like, I don't know, Joanna, I'm brand spanking new. I haven't figured that out. We'll get through the training, the Grant Cardone training, and you'll have a lot of eye opening when you get through that, number one. And then number two is, if you have it written out, so we have an Excel spreadsheet that has like all the properties that we look at, like Grant talks about. And then we also have a tab that says, well, here's our buy box and here's our, so we can immediately take that, copy paste, send it to the broker that we're talking to. Have that ready to go, know it, like you know your name. All right. And it can be tweaked a little here and there, but just know it like you know your name. So, and then there is knowing your numbers, the underwriting, right? So you got to take it for, where it's at, how you're breaking it down all the way down to the penny, as Teresa would say, right? All the way down to the penny. And that is repairs. That is cash on cash. That is IRR. That is, what is going to happen? Is this a 3-year? This is a 5-year, 7-year, 10-year? Like, all of those nuances happen next. Okay. And then it's team. Like, who needs to be on your team for this? And the reason I say that, like, fourth, is because Clayton didn't know to partner with me if I didn't say I was playing in North Carolina. It was our market first, right? Teresa didn't know to play with me until she knew I wanted to play in North Carolina. Okay. And we had stuff already rocking and rolling. So your team needs to know what is happening all before all the things that I just said prior to. So if you're taking notes, it's your market, your buy box, and then knowing your numbers, and now it's your team. Okay. Your team doesn't want to mess with you if you don't understand how underwriting works. Okay. You have to have some nuance of it. You can't just be oblivious. All right. I'm not saying you have to be a master and a freak in the spreadsheets like Teresa, but you do have to know how to underwrite, because every deal I get, I underwrite. I'm not accepting that it's just Teresa, even though I trust her with my life, but I have to underwrite it. Clayton has to underwrite it. He has to understand numbers. We all do each one of the roles, but we're all just in charge of one of the roles. Does that make sense for everybody?
And I'd like to add to that, Joanna, in that you also have those other sets of eyes, so
Yes.
that you're coming to the same conclusion, and then you're deciding, yes, we're going to put that LOI in. Once we do that, though, and it's accepted, then we really look at that due diligence. And what about those numbers? I mean, I've usually already run them in the background, but it's more of you're starting to really dig deep at that point. Because you only have a limited amount of time in order to decide to close that deal or come back with a different number, or even say, hey, this isn't going to work, and, go from there. So yeah, but it's great. Your partners run and look at it, and they do that quick number, and then you're all on, have kind of that similar number, and then you know that you're in the right ball field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I was going to piggyback on that a little bit too. So, and Melanie, I like Joanna said at the start introducing us, I'm a little direct, I'm a little forward. Please don't take it as I'm being hateful. I like to, cut the BS out of it. And let's talk straight to it, right? It's not nothing personal. So I understand your business plan. You feel comfortable making that business plan, understanding the numbers, digging deep like Teresa would do, understanding your capital raising and everything before submitting your LOI. I get that. It's an assurance kind of way of looking at it, right? So let me ask you this. Exactly. If I sent you 25 potential properties, could you give me a couple LOIs out before the end of the week?
Sorry.
Oh man, I think you're
Oops.
muted.
You're on mute.
You're muted.
I would do everything in my power to, yes, get some LOIs out. But
Right.
I'm still, it's terrifying. I have to be candid. It's terrifying.
I'm with you. I understand that. I understand. But if you're digging that deep and you're coming up with your 5-year plan, what am I going to pay my investors back year 3, year 4, and everything? If you get, some brokers calling you back and you've got 6 or 7 that you need to underwrite, you're not going to have time to make that kind of plan. That's a lot of work. What you're talking about
Yeah.
is pretty much after your LOI has been accepted. You've done went to best and final. They've done said, yes, we'll take your offer. Then we need to figure, okay, who's my investors? What kind of, capital raising, what kind of regulation I'm gonna go through? What am I gonna tell them their returns are? What their cash on cash is gonna be? You're gonna be digging real deep then. But if you got 25 to underwrite and we need to underwrite it quick, you're going to have to do just sort of like what Grant said, some dirty math, see if you're going to be in the ballpark, at least just try to get to the table. If you can get to the table, if you can even get into that best and final offers, then you're off to a good start. So I understand that
Right.
you're nervous. You'd like to have that big plan laid out, but realistically, this stuff's going to move so fast. Once brokers start knowing who you are and starts talking to you, sending you off market deals, you're looking at stuff on LoopNet, you're going to have so much to underwrite that those big plans, you won't have time to do it all.
And, I'll add to that, Clayton. I have a calculator that it actually lets me, I plug in the P&L, that T12, I plug in that information because generally they have that with the OM that you're looking at. You plug that in and it calculates out for me. You can crank them out in 15 minutes. Once you get really good, you can get it done in 15 to kind of give an idea of, okay, this is a good one. But remember the LOI, that's not a contract. That's just, a letter of interest. So you want to get that done, get it out quick, and then move forward. So hopefully that's helpful too, but you master it to a point where you know the key information to pull off of the P&L. You also have the information and you plug it into the calculator, and then within 15 minutes, if you get the really good detail, the rent roll, things like that, you can be able to see that, yes, it looks like there's that potential for cash on cash return, cap rate, and meeting the DSCR because you're going to have debt. That kind of thing. You can quickly assess if it meets those market parameters that you've already identified when you did your research for your market.
I mean, the $25,000 spreadsheet that that it does, I can do that rather quickly and I can come up with some, with something that I feel comfortable with. That's why I said to Clayton, I could probably submit an LOI. That's probably not what's stopping me, right? It's some of those other things that I'm really trying to understand a little bit better because I just struggle with not feeling confident enough to feel like I can put down some real earnest money, even if I'm just writing an LOI, right? Because I have to put it in there. I want to make sure that, I'm ready for it. And that's probably my biggest stumbling block. So I do appreciate you all here helping me to understand, what I can sort of not spend too much time on. And I'm really trying to push past this what feels like just a block in front of me that I'm trying to get the heck out of my way. So
Well,
I
great.
That's the hardest, the
Actually,
mindset.
yeah.
grabbing a hold of a deal and walking it through the whole thing, like let us help you walk through it. Send us what you're looking at so that we can walk you through it and get to the next step. Because a lot of times what holds people back is because they didn't get to the next step. So they have all this anxiety because they've never been to the next step.
Yes.
Right. And then there's analysis paralysis happening. Right. Let's get you past that. That's what I would say. And as a group effort, not, it's not something y'all should do on your own is what I'm saying, because it is scary and it's dangerous to do on your own. So lean on the group to support you. Okay. Lock arms, walk through something so that you can get to the next step. If you're only analyzing properties, you're going to stay there.
Well, what I was always hoping for was to analyze properties with people, and I've been trying to connect with folks who are at a similar level where we can really talk out a couple things so that we can, do what you are suggesting. Coming up, doing some underwriting as a team, and coming up with some very similar numbers, because then that would really build my confidence in understanding that I do understand, what we need to be thinking about in terms of what is a good deal and what we need to proceed with an LOI on, et cetera.
Well,
Yeah,
Matt,
good.
I'm happy if you'd like to grab my contacts out of the chat there. I'm happy to you and I can get on a call sometime when you're available, and we can walk through one, and we'll just underwrite it together and show you just the quick and dirty math, show you some things to look at real quick, and then submit that LOI. And I see some other people in the chat, they're willing to do some
All
broker
the
calls with
support.
you. Yeah, so check that chat out. There's plenty of people there that's willing to do some broker calls with you, underwrite with you. And we'll get you over that.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has something. And you noticed when I was giving you the business plan, Melanie, just all in the closing here, and then we'll get to Ben, but I put funding last. I put the money last. Because nobody wants to talk to you. Your money person doesn't want to talk to you, and your team doesn't want to talk to you until they know that you know your numbers and your market. Okay, so that's for everyone. All right, cool. Ben, what's up?
Hey, Joanna, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. Thanks for having me. So I kind of relate heavily to what you're saying about building your team and whatnot, and I identify a lot with Clayton on being very direct, but I also am very good with numbers. And so I guess where I'm getting stuck on is where do you get the data fields to find the great deal, right? Because everything revolves around having the great deal. So when you contact a broker, what data fields are you looking, or what information are you looking for that make it a great deal? Is there a difference between a great deal between you as finding the deal versus the LP, so the GP versus the LP? And let's see here. I guess that's kind of where I'm at. And then how do you plan your exit by finding the great deal? Because you can't have a good entry but a poor exit and it'd be a great deal, from my understanding.
Well, let me go back to the beginning of your question real quick, and then I'll probably have Clayton pop in here on it. But so if you guys are, again, I started with market first, right? If it's you that's doing it and you are taking down the deal, you know the market and you want to be in that market, you need to decide what's a good deal for you. Are you doing value add, stabilized? That's part of your buy box that I said is part of your business plan, right? And so this is what I tell my students. When you know your market and your buy box, when you're looking at LoopNet or whatever's going on in there, it literally stands up like Waldo. The good deal stands up like Waldo. It's, it's 100,000 per unit. It's going to cash flow. It meets the 1% rule. It's just a North Star to get you to look at it. It may not always pencil out, but you need that North Star that's going to guide you. Okay. So, and the caveat to that is if you're looking to pass it off to someone who else that is doing a deal, what is their market? What is their buy box? So if you're doing acquisitions for somebody, you'll need to know what they're wanting to do and what's a good deal for them. And then you know what to go look for in the market.
Sure. Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. What is your definition of a buy box? I haven't heard that term before.
It's the criteria that you want to give to the broker of what you're looking for. No burned down units, no Section 8s, no 1-1s in this zip code or county.
Okay.
Mine is outside entry. I prefer outside entry apartments versus the box ones where there's inside. I mean, everyone has their own criteria, buy box of what they'll buy.
Right.
So what I mean by that.
I'm very similar in what Joanna's looking for. I also like to have the add value because I can have cash flow, but if I know I'm going to be doing some rehab within that first year, now I also increase my equity. So it adds value. So I've just now improved my position.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll weigh in on a little bit about the broker call and stuff, Ben. Honestly, and I'm sure you've heard this from many other people. When I'm talking to the broker, I'm not really looking for numbers, to be honest. I'm looking for what's going on with the property. Why is that person selling now when it's definitely not the seller's market? I'm looking for that distressed seller. I'm looking for that niche that tells me that I can shoot for a lower price, or that I need to shoot for a lower price. I'm looking for that niche that tells me that whether this person's truly trying to sell or if they're just fishing the market, right? So I'm not really looking too much for numbers. At the early stages of this, your LOI and stuff like that, really you're just taking what they give you somewhat to heart. Now we all know it's a little bit BS, right? But you're taking the OM, you're taking the rent roll, you're taking the T12, and you're taking it like, hey, this is what you gave me, so this is what we'll run with, right? Now, once you get your LOI accepted and they actually open those books up to you, right? Now we get serious about it. Now we have the real data. You're showing me your true financials. You're not showing me some rounded up numbers and some best guess numbers and this and that and other. Then we get serious, right? So, but mostly when you're talking to the broker, you're building a rapport with them. You're connecting with them. You're showing them that you're a serious buyer. You're showing them, you're giving them a little bit of detail about yourself, that you're not just out here playing the game. You're talking to them. You're building that connection. You're investigating the property at a high level. I'm not sure if you've been part of Grant's calls and stuff before, but he'll even tell you, don't do any kind of negative talk about the property or nothing with them until you're there, right? Until you're in that LOI that's been accepted. You're now in the game here with it. Just get the understanding of the property, figure out why they're trying to sell it, figure out what they've done to it, any CapEx they've done, and then that'll give you your best guess on how you can do your business plan and your best guess on how you can run your numbers. And then after once that's all accepted, then you get serious about it, right? Then you want to know the truth about it. You want proof. You want data to show this is what your true NOI is. So show me, right? So just take it a little lighthearted whenever you're talking to them. It's not too much about the actual numbers as to per se, the gist of why they're selling it.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's a huge one. And there's so many brokers out there that won't share that sometimes. And you got to kind of ask in indirect ways of why they're selling and then turn it back around. Tell me again why they're selling to like bring it back up. It's sort of like a 5-year-old asking like 5-7 times, but in different ways. Why is the sky blue?
Right.
Because even if they did answer you, it's going to be a surface level answer. Oh, they're retiring. Well, okay, there's no urgency. That's one of the things is you need urgency, right? And if you can't find that urgency, they're not a motivated seller, and that's probably not the deal for you. Hey, Regina made it. All right, is that helpful, Ben?
Yes, yes, ma'am. I guess one more thing on the back side of that question. So to start out, you need to know what you're looking for, so that way you can find what the investor's looking for, and then you'll start doing your rapport, right? And then you need to know what makes the motivated seller. So to identify a good deal, what are you using to plan your exit? Or to
Plan my
analyze
exit
your exit?
strategy.
Yeah.
So that's a collective effort, and it depends on the deal. So I have a hold in perpetuity, and I have ones that are selling in 5 years. So it just depends.
Okay. Okay.
And keep in mind, it's also your business plan. So I mean, it
Everyone has.
it can kind of be what you're looking for. What are you trying to get out of this? Where are you trying to sell it? Are you wanting to do, a quick one around 3 or 4 years? You want to try to hold it out 7 and 8 years, depending on cash flow? Like Joanna said, it really depends on the asset. If you got something that's cash flowing really well, and you got a good loan on it, a good note on it and stuff, that you're not going to run into issues in 5 years. Keep in mind, most of those notes, even though they're 30 years amortized, in about 5 or 6 years you're going to have to revamp those, right? So you got to make sure your interest rates and all that stuff align in those things. You might want to hold for 5, 7, 8 years if it's a good cash flow and everything's going well with it. Or if it's something you're trying to make a quick exit on. So it really depends, like you said, on the asset and the situation that you're trying to target, and the cash on cash, and how your investors are sort of, in the deal with it. So
And that comes back to your market in your buy box, right? Is that market a holding in perpetuity kind of area? Or is it a take it quick flick? And if you're getting it for another investor, what's their buy box? What's their exit strategy? So it just depends, right? Everyone has their own business plan.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. All right, anyone else have any questions? Just go ahead, raise your hand. What's the A stand for, Lee? Caleb? Angela?
It depends who you ask, Joanna, but today it stands for awesome. How you doing today, Joanna?
I love
Clayton.
that answer.
Great so far. Thank you so much for having this today. This is exactly what many of us need. And I just wanted to start off by saying that if anybody wants to jump on the phone and have some fun, pound the phones, call some brokers, Melanie, Ben, anybody on this call, I'm willing to do it, And I just wanted to say one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is there's only so much preparation one can do. You're supposed to feel like you're about to throw up sometimes, or you're about to crap your pants sometimes, because we are taking big risks. But the beautiful thing, like Joanna alluded to, is there is a major community here. So, like, I'm hearing all these questions and it's great. But the great thing is, if you're here, you're probably part of like several ecosystems. You can talk to your group about your deal blow by blow for free. And then they can guide you. There's so much built-in mentoring in this. It's unbelievable. So I just wanted to offer that, the broker calls. And one last thing, Joanna, because you're like, I'm slightly newer than you, and it made me feel a little better when you said you had 25 years real estate experience, right? Because my question is, what am I doing versus what is Joanna doing, you know? So
Well,
I want to say, like, I admire that a lot. And I would like to hear, like, briefly, if you wouldn't mind sharing, just like, when did it become real? I know you had to look at so many deals, multifamily deals. Like, when did it become real where you knew, like, after the PSA or whatever, when things were really cooking? And then you started to feel like you were going to throw up. Can you walk us through that?
my throw up moment. Okay, cool. So in single family, it was literally, I bought sight unseen in Nampa, Idaho. It was a new development, and like I walked around the escrow table like 17 times before I signed those documents. That was a throw up moment, my very first throw up real estate moment. And then I've been living in the single family sector for a long time, and I like to compare it to general practitioner. When you go to the doctor and you need brain surgery, you're not going to the general practitioner. You need something orthopedic, you're not going to the general practice. And so that's kind of how I feel like multifamily is a specialized area. And I kept trying to put my toe in it for years. Doing 6-figure flips in different areas, building a small portfolio, doing, the BRRRR strategy, all those normal creative out of the box ditch the bank stuff, that we do at single family. But can I take this into multifamily? And so that was my first aha moment, and why I wanted to get into the multifamily side of it. And I'm like, how are these people doing it? And I think what's held me back most, and this might help probably all of you, is I have no freaking patience.
Mm,
I'm a control
nice.
freak, and I have no freaking patience.
Wow, that's big.
And my big throw up moment was learning that I had to play team. It really wasn't even the real estate at all. It was, I have to rely on other people. I have to, it scared the shit out of me to release that control. And so I'm a recovering control freak. And I've now learned that it's easier than single family because I play team. And that's what I want you guys to all do. Find your team, latch onto so much support inside of this group, you know, doing broker calls, doing underwriting, doing whatever's freaking you the F out. Grab someone and do it together. Because the longer you let it freak you out, that's one of the things it says is run towards your fears. Don't let it sit there for more than 5 minutes. Go run towards your fears. So I hope that answers your question just a little bit.
Yeah, it did. I have one little question, if that's cool.
Yeah.
So you were talking in the beginning about different roles for GPs, right? Like acquisitions, like you've got, you know, Bulldog Clayton coming at the brokers, finding the deals, acquisition. And then you mentioned you're the face, capital raising.
Mhm.
At some point, isn't there like some overlap? I mean,
God,
I
yeah.
guess I'm trying to see, where do my skills fit in? Do I need to, I mean, I guess everybody needs to be able to capital raise, but like to me, like when I'm just like gut off the cuff, I think I would be best with talking to brokers and acquisitions. That's what I like to do anyway, you know? So, but I
Super.
know at some point there's got to be capital raising. So can you talk about that overlap if there is one or whatnot?
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you.
I came in kind of the same way, and I was asked, what do you identify as? A acquisitions, asset, or capital raiser? And I'm like, I don't know. I could do them all, I suppose. I haven't done them to the level of multifamily, but I run my portfolio already. I already do asset management. I have private money lenders that I work with. I've raised capital. I do my own acquisitions, my own negotiations. I mean, I do all the things, right? So how do you choose? And again, there's that control freak. I did it all. I chose because I started networking, and this is kind of what we're doing here, right? Like, let's all make sure we're touching and talking to one another. What I did was I was networking with a gal. She's in Pennsylvania, and her name is Priya. And we're like, let's do a meetup together. Let's do something. And then we just started chatting back and forth, and let's connect. We got to know each other. We dated, right, before we got married. We dated, and I'm like, okay, well, let's do this meetup. We just started talking about it. And all of a sudden she says, I have this deal. I went, oh shit. Okay. Well, let's go. Let's do it. She goes, do you want a capital raise for me? And so like everything just fell away to the wayside. And I'm like, okay, I'm a capital raiser, because she handled the acquisition. Right. And then we had Denise was the asset management. Teresa knows what I'm talking about. And then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm capital raiser then. And so what I literally did was I stopped everything and did like a 90-day window. And I raised 1.4 million in 90 days. And I talked to it was like 611 investors. I made an Excel spreadsheet because I was getting lost. But 611 people after that 90 days. I got to tell you, I took a whole another month to recoup from that because it was crazy. But that's how I ended up identifying what I wanted to do, because the deal kind of just happened. Is that helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. That was helpful. That's very nice. Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna, Dennis is gonna hate my guts, but Mr. Dennis Peak, I don't know. We need to find out if he is dating a girl over the weekend in Tahiti, or if we are bringing this gal home to mama for a
That's for
proper
sure.
marriage. And I was
That's
telling
for
Dennis, I'm
sure.
texting him saying, raise your hand. So he's going to hate my guts. I will deal with
Oh,
the
Joanna knows me
anger.
well. Joanna knows me well.
Okay, so Dennis, please, let's make some money, buddy. What's the
Yeah,
deal? We've been sitting on this lady for 7
I
months.
know.
Come on.
So I've been dating this deal for 7 months. It's in my backyard. It's in Fort Myers. I'm in Naples, and this deal is definitely in trouble. It's 33 units. The numbers the numbers are horrible. I can't really actually figure out the numbers, but back of the napkin, it works. And I like this deal because it's a new build, it's a 23 build. And it's got 33 units. The rents are $1,400 a month. And it's just, like I say, I've been talking to this broker for 7 months.
Why, like, what's the drag?
The drag is, so they had it under contract about a month ago and it fell out of contract.
Why?
For 4.65, apparently, because it has low occupancy, Fannie would not do the loan.
Dennis, may I for just a moment? May
Yeah,
I
go ahead, go ahead.
interject? Joanna, let me tell you, this is owned by a family and the owner's got dementia, okay? And if you've dealt with dementia, you know the hardship on the family. This is a gold mine, okay? And the reason why it's a gold mine, the business plan is, I mean, there's 33 units. So it's showing low occupancy because there's 4 flipping units that are empty. So I just don't want the numbers are very skewed. But the guy's got dementia. There's definitely like probably embezzlement going on. They've got the worst mom and pop books known to man. So the business plan ought to
Totally.
be, Dennis, to swoop in, save the day, and make 4 times your money. Now the banks won't take
Actually-
it on because of the occupancy. That's the problem. So he needs all cash. But it's a
Yeah,
great deal.
we're talking all cash for this deal. The broker's saying I'm his #1 guy, take it at 4.45. Like I say, those rents are at 1,400. It's in a great market. It's a mile from the water, a mile from downtown Fort Myers. Fort Myers on the waterfront is being all revamped over the next 10 years. I mean, that downtown area is gonna be absolutely amazing. Only like a half a mile from Edison Park, that's kind of like the central park of Fort Myers. I mean, it's got everything great about the property, new asset. It meets the 1% rule, that's another great thing about it, so it cost them 6.1 to build this thing 3 years ago in 23. And that was over 180 a door, 180,000 a door. I'm buying for this thing at 135 a door.
I come up with 140.
So question there, Dennis. I know you're worried about the money and coming up with it because of the occupancy stuff, but do you even know if they'll accept your offer?
So
Has
way
anyone
back
said that, yeah,
when,
you're in the ballpark?
well, way back when, so like I say, I've been working on this deal for 7 months. I submitted LOI for 4.3. And that was back when the listing was at 5.1. And obviously that was a low, they weren't going to take 3 or 4.3. But now that they lost the contract at 465, they're coming back at 445. And I think I can make the deal work. I mean, we don't have a true NOI, but I think we're buying it at between a 6.2 and a 6.5 cap, which that's pretty good for downtown Fort Myers, new asset. So it's going to cash flow, the cash on cash is going to be 6 to 6.5 out the gate. And like I say, I'd like to do a cash deal. I don't think we have a problem raising 4.5 million. They think it can be done because it's in a great market. Grant actually has 2 deals in Fort Myers. And I know the rents there because another nice thing about this 33 units, they're all 1-in-1s. They're 1-bedroom units. And Fort Myers is a 1-bedroom unit market. And the rents are actually about 200 below market. It's just been so mismanaged that they can't keep it full. It's got 7 units empty. If
How
we
long's it
could,
been on the market?
It's actually been on the market for over a year. It started at 6.1, it went to 5.1, and now they're gonna accept 4.45.
Okay, so.
It was actually on the market with CBRE in the beginning. I guess that contract ran out. They probably ran for 6 months. This broker is a small guy. He's actually an investor also. He has some of his own deals in the same market, Fort Myers, Tampa. He loves the deal. The broker loves the deal. Just
Did
because they
he
have,
underwrite it?
he has underwritten, and I think his underwriting is way high. I mean, he's got the NOI at 330K. I'm coming up with about 280. The actual P&L is showing a loss. So I don't know how he's figuring this 330. That's what I don't get. But I'm coming up with 280. And like I say, that's
And what are you missing?
what's that?
Did you ask him, what am I missing? Because I'm coming up at 280. And then if it's been on the market that long, it's starting to sound like a, oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I'm still here.
Oh, there he is. I'm like,
See,
where'd
see, it done it to you too.
Yeah,
Like he jumps away and it's like, wait, did you lose him?
Come
for
back.
sure. And
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, I've napkined, I've been in the group for 9 months now, and I've napkined, well over 300 deals. And they almost all of them are terrible. And
So
I
at what
mean-
point is it gonna pay you and the investors that, I mean, did you run that all the way through or did you only do the napkin math?
I mean, I've got back, I mean, I don't have a spreadsheet on it, but the deal works. I mean, it works. It's gonna make, 6% for the investors. And if we pay cash, and then I want to go get debt on it probably within a year. Because once we get, so there's 7 units empty right now, which makes it 82%. If we fill 4 more units, that makes it 92%. And that actually adds 500,000 of value also. So now the property is at 5 million because we bought it for 4.45. So now the property's at 5 million, and that's without raising the rents or anything. That's just bringing the occupancy up. And then we can get debt on it for, probably 3.5 million.
What other, I mean, it's brand new. What other?
It's brand new. We don't need to do
Brand-
anything. We don't need to do anything to it. It's like brand new.
Okay.
They've actually done a lot of work on it since it got done. They put security gates in around it. All the doors have like what's it called? Automated entry instead of a keyless entry. I mean, it doesn't have any amenities, but it's
Well,
I
then
mean,
why
it's-
isn't it selling? Why isn't there offers on it?
he's got 2 other offers, and they're probably thinking the same thing as they're gonna pay cash for it. At least that's what the broker told me.
Okay, and did you write an LOI yet?
I've 7 months ago, 4.3.
You rewrite it because that one expired?
I mean, I know that it expired, but he has my
Oh,
LOI
LOI,
still.
ooh, LOIs expire, by
They
the way.
expire.
Okay, well, he's never said expired.
You need to
Well,
write that.
well, anyway, he's calling me saying I can have the deal for 4.45.
Okay,
I don't know why I'm number 1 on his list, but we've chatted probably 10 times. I've been to the property 3 times. I've walked the property with him.
Well,
I
Dennis,
mean,
I got a question.
we've done the dance all the way through.
I got a question, Dennis, and like I said, I'm not trying to. I'm just a direct guy. I'm not trying to be mean.
No,
or
I
nothing here.
understand. This
So,
is what I
okay.
love. I love it.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you've worked this deal for 7 months. So something about this property you really like.
Yeah.
But there's also something you really fear. Okay. It sounds like it's not just the money. Only reason why I say that is because you're in a lot of calls, right? Because I'm in those calls. You're in Matt's call. It's got hundreds of
Yes.
people. You
Yeah.
got Jody's calls. It's in hundred. You're in the Grant Cardone's group and stuff. You got 100. You've got a lot of people you can raise money from.
Yes,
I'm not too concerned about. I'm not sure why.
I think we
you're-
can raise the money. I mean,
Exactly.
I
why
just had
have
a
you-
meeting with Lee today. I think we can do the deal for sure.
Yeah, but there's something there. I don't feel like the money's what's stopping you. There's something there that's telling you not to go ahead and make and let them set that offer and get this under contract and get this closed on you. So what else is there? Because I think you've got the money. Like I said, with all these calls, you got a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Why,
I'm
why are
ready.
you not
I mean,
closing
I'm
on
ready.
this thing?
I'm
Pull the
ready. I'm ready to
trigger.
go.
Well, then call that guy back if you're comfortable with the numbers. If you ran them, you think you got you a plan there. He's telling you he'll accept it. Lock it down.
Let's
Do
do
Give
it.
it a run.
Let's
Give
give it a
yourself a
run.
couple. Put yourself a couple extensions on the LOI just in case. Say,
Yeah.
give me an option of another
You mean
30
the
days or
PSA.
something. Yeah, on the PSA. Sorry.
Yeah.
Give you an extra extension there to come up with the money and everything. And give
And
it
I
a
know
run.
that the sellers, they're gonna work with me because, like I say, they already fell out of contract once.
See,
And they want surety close, obviously, but they're I mean, it's almost the bank's almost taken it over, actually.
yeah. See that they don't want to let that happen. They want you to have it. And
Right.
if you're comfortable with it, like I said, between all the calls that you're in and everything, the money's there. Just
Yeah,
if you-
I
if
do
you-
believe the money's there. And then,
Yeah.
like I say, I think, like I say, the all cash is the deal, is the way to go on this deal. And then just worry about some debt later.
What's the
I
next,
personally,
action step?
I think this is a forever hold. I want to keep it for 20 years.
Well, let's write the LOI. Let's go.
With PSA, let's do it.
Oh, Dennis.
All right.
Is that the next step, Dan?
PSA is the next step, yes.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
Do it.
I'm gonna call him. I'll call you in the morning.
I'll get back on the phone with Michael and we'll see what they want to do. He's
Dennis,
ready
I
to
have a
go, though.
question. I have
Go
a
ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Which part of Fort Myers are you talking about? Because they know
So
that
we're basically almost right downtown at the bridge. We're right off of Fowler, a mile from the bridge.
okay. Because Fowler's one of the main drags there.
Yep, Fowler's main drag. 41 is one artery over.
Uh-huh.
Like a half mile from Edison Park. Half mile from the water.
Edison Park as a historic district.
Yep. And it takes like 35 minutes to get to Sanibel. I mean,
Yeah, it's not far. It's just
Yep.
across the bridge there too.
yep.
Yeah, the historic area. I don't know exactly where it is. I'm looking at the map right now. Some of those are older homes or something.
It's
as
the address is 2771 Royal Palm.
Royal Palm.
Yep. The listing is on Prexy.
Yeah, it's just on maps. I like to look at maps sometimes to see what's around it.
Yep.
You know, I know you and I think a lot alike sometimes. You know.
And I really like, I'm gonna set up a pitch deck for this. I've never done a pitch deck, but I need to set up a pitch deck for this thing and we can get it rolling.
Yeah.
You with that, Dennis? Everybody uses Canva. It's real simple. What they have now. You could
Yeah.
basically just
I mean,
wiggle your nose, and then
yeah,
all of a
I
sudden
do
you have
my
a whole movie.
5-minute pitch and who wants to come in?
Let's do it.
All right, who wants to take this deal down?
What are your thoughts? What'd you find, Regina?
I like to, I probably do like everybody else does. When I look at it too, I like to look at the neighborhood and all and see
Yeah.
what's around. Because what would these people be looking at?
I mean, it's workforce housing. I mean, it's a blue collar area.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 blocks away is an A+ area. But
Mhm,
right where we are, it's probably, a C area, but
mhm.
it's still, I don't know why the management is having such a problem with it. I think it's because the owners are not on the management, they're not working together. because the owner's out and the kids are trying to run it and they don't want to run it. And they are like what Lee said is they are actually taking from the revenue, the kids are. And
What kind of depth on it?
there is actually 4.1 debt on it. And like we
Well,
might
they
even
got
get,
enough to sell it. It's upside down.
yeah, it is upside down. I mean, yeah.
Realtor for the brokers.
It's totally upside down. That's why the bank is about ready to take it. I
Yeah,
think,
it's not too far from Lee Memorial, but I don't think that's the main hospital because that's usually off Colonial. This is off Canal Street. So surrounding it, yeah, are a couple businesses and all. It is like you said, blue collar type neighborhood, regular housing, regular neighborhoods.
yep. I mean,
Um,
there's old, 50-year-old houses right across the street. There's another multifamily across the street, kitty corner, like 280 units. And then there's a couple other smaller multifamily, but nothing around there is new. I mean, it's the only place that's new until you get down by the water. And I mean, it's a Class A asset for sure.
Yeah, big storage area. A lot of land there and storage area in there. Looks like from the railroad tracks. I don't know what that's storing about, but yeah, you gotta take a look at it and see. I mean, I don't see anything else. I probably want to look at a business of real deal tire or whatever, but hey, I've backed up to some funky stuff already. But it's on Fowler, which is, it's a very popular street. I'm trying to remember when I looked at apartments around when I lived there, and I drove around a lot too. And it's amazing that the area can change from okay to good to really good
Yes.
to okay.
That's what I mean, like 4 blocks away is A plus, but where we are, it's more like a C.
But everything
But-
on Fowler is just all businesses and stuff, so everything's local, everything's
Fowler is all blue collar business, tire stores and automotive and, stuff like that.
yeah. Cool.
But
Let us know how it goes.
I'll send out a PA. I'll get with him later this week and say, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And then
I'm excited
see
for you.
see what the sellers actually want.
Yes.
And
Dang, Miss Awesome. She's like, let's go,
I mean,
Dennis.
Dennis, we gotta find out.
I
bro.
know,
We
yeah,
gotta
me and Lee,
find
we
out.
had a
Let her
conversation
go.
about 20, 30
Let her
minutes
go or
earlier
marry
today.
It's what we call shit or get off the pot kind of thing.
Yeah, I
right?
told him that
Yeah.
today, didn't I, Dennis? Didn't I say shit or get off the pot
We've
today?
been dating way too long.
Oh man, I would have left.
Off
She
the
should have
question,
left you a
let's go.
long time ago.
Well, I didn't,
Yeah.
I mean, 3 or 4 months ago, the number was 465 and I didn't want to pay 465.
But you wrote an LOI that made sense, right?
Right. And that, so it's they lost contract at 465. I was at 4.3. So we kind of met in the middle. I mean, 150,000 is not going to break this deal,
So,
right?
right. And then you need to understand where their debt service is at, because if they're all over the place mentally, the kids, the original owner, like all the things, who's paying the bills? Who's handling all of this, making the payments?
Actually, the broker is handling all the financials now.
Good
Wow.
Lord. Say, tell me,
Yeah.
Mr. Broker, how do I take this off your plate? Help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do I gotta do to close
he
this?
wants to be done with it. He's like, I'm ready to get rid of this thing.
Go get it.
So and I can't believe that he wants me to be the buyer, but I don't know what I've done that made him say you're the one, but
This is the
Um,
whole
That
purpose
smile,
of
Dennis.
making the calls, right?
Yes,
It's not
for sure.
necessarily the deals on LoopNet. It's not necessarily that you're looking at the deal, because I hear this all the time. There's nothing but garbage out there, Joanna. I'm like,
yeah,
you gotta go dumpster dive. But the reason you're doing that is because the brokers want you to call them.
and exactly like these
They'll
deals.
build a relationship and say, this is close. What else do you have? Right? Like,
And like I say, I've built a relationship
that
with this guy
relationship.
the past 7 months, and
and that's
we
why.
didn't talk because we thought it was done because it was under contract, and then obviously see these deals come back. These deals come back all the time, and
And I know Dennis, she asked you said earlier, I'm sorry I cut you off, but you said earlier, there was the stories were there, why, like, Jana was saying, well, why? And then, there's really no bad reason he's given you, right?
Right.
Which is good, right?
And almost, well, over 50% of deals do not close. So
Yep.
over half of these deals that you looked at, 6 months, even a year ago, they may be coming back to you.
Yep.
With the deal, and like
Or you
everybody
need to get those
said,
LOIs out so that they come back to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he, like I said, after he called me first after it fell out of contract, which
Now
I
you
was
can-
very appreciative of that. I mean, he
And he
actually
accepts
called me
it.
first.
right, and you can start doing your due diligence after you accept or accepts it. Then
Yeah.
you really find out the details. Yay.
Oh
I
man.
don't even,
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll, I'd like to meet the owners. I don't know if we ever will, but, you know, we'll see.
Okay.
Joanna, real quick, how long would Dennis, or how long would the property need to be like filled for him to be able to get debt on it?
Depends on
Right?
the lender he's talking to, first of all. And then
Okay.
there has to be like in some cases it's 6 months. Some cases it's 12 months. So you have to get that. Speaking to lenders, I would actually call a lender and say, hey, what do I need to do in order to make this right for you to put debt on it? Ask the broker who would put debt on this if everything was perfect,
Yeah.
right? And
That's great.
have those conversations. And that's, again, like I said, starting with market, your buy box, running the numbers, team, funding, because now you have something to talk to a lender about, right? All the things. You ran the numbers, you know the market, you know the deal, you know that. That's what the lender needs to know in order to give you an answer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have an investor friend of mine who called 60 mofo lenders, 60 to get the deal done. So don't just call one and go, oh, it didn't work. Or,
Yeah.
oh, that
Exactly.
said no, it must not be.
Mm.
60.
Wow. I only called 2.
Yeah. So you
I
guys are
need to
making
hear
enough
that.
calls for acquisitions, for networking, for money,
Oh my
for lenders, like more calls really is.
We got to be,
Connect.
and this is for everybody that's on the call right now. I don't care who it is. We need to make at least 20 phone calls a day to somebody, whether
Connected.
it's an investor, whether it's a broker, whether it's like you say, a lender. We got to get on the phone. We
Go
got
find
to
a
get
deal
on
and
the
have a
phone.
conversation about it. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The phone is our friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you
Phone a
guys,
friend.
I can't make it to a lot of the things that happen in our world. Was this a beneficial call for everyone?
Yes, Joanna, definitely.
Okay. Would you like it
Absolutely,
to be
Joanna.
weekly? Would you like it to be weekly?
Oh gosh, yes. That would be
Leslie.
great.
Okay.
How many we got here?
Right now, well, we had like
12.
20 something, now we're at 12.
Okay. It's about the same number that we have on like Friday Night Lights.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I love
Cool.
Jason. I can't always get to that call on Friday.
I missed last Friday, but
Oh,
Matt's up to close to 100, so that's the goal is
Yeah.
get 100 people on this call. And this is
Yeah,
only the first
tell me
one.
what you want, and we'll give you as much as we can.
And everybody that's on
Right
here,
deals.
invite your friends. I mean, just not only from Grant's world, but from anywhere else you've been. Just invite them. Say we got a great group here.
Yeah, we're all here to support each other. And make sure you get something done. And like the biggest thing for me is I'm just getting it done because I hate that. I want it to be done right. I'm a control freak, and I didn't tell you guys throughout this whole
Well, that's
thing.
why you've got 100 and how many doors?
134.
134 doors. Is because you
13
want to get it
million in
done.
assets under management and 2.6 million on my capital this year.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, I got some stuff to share. I'm not perfect, and
Yep.
and it's a whole nother world. And yes, what I know from my single family world was I needed to network, I needed to connect, and I needed to play team. So start dating, start networking.
Yes,
And
all
I'm
those
happy
phone
to
numbers, all
connect
those phone
with you
numbers I have
guys.
written down, I gotta call
Yes, yes, absolutely. Can I ask what you're up to, Susanna? I want to check in with you.
Hi. Well, I spend a lot of time just watching the videos, but I think that sometimes I learn a lot more when I'm listening to people and their problems, right? Because I had to watch the introduction for the apartments again and again. For me, it's a flow of information. I have no idea about real estate. When I signed up for the course was because I took a boot camp of real estate with Grant Cardone, and that's how I started. And I was like, if this guy did it, I can do it too. So, and I see people, right? Like they're very inspiring, people like you, people like Jody, people like everyone, right? Like they're making deals, they're
What is it,
going, they're
Suzy?
active. They go to the conferences.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's inspiring. Of course, I want to take my little bit of money and partner with someone and be like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Right? Instead of me just doing it on my own. And I wouldn't like to have my first uh deal doing it on my own. I would want to do it with someone. And I live in New York City. You know how hard it is to find a deal over here? And the prices are crazy.
we're state neighbors, huh? Yay.
Yeah.
Nice, but yeah, let's get to know each other a little bit more. And so here's what I want for everyone who is doing brand spanking new, just jumping in, like get through the education, grab a nugget that maybe you didn't quite understand, bring it back to the call and any of the calls that happen throughout the week and ask that question. Like, so that's the best question you can ask is, what did this mean? I was in the education. I got this. I'm not sure how it applies to real life or how I do it. That is the best way to ask a question because a lot of times we get on that Friday call, Andres is on there, Ben's on there, whomever, Ryan, Grant Cardone sometimes, and we're asking questions that are in the education, right? And so you can't relate to it. And so I'm proud of you, Susanna, is what I'm trying to say, is that you're in the education getting that. And so I would say a next step for you would be to now take that education and go apply it, even if it's messy. You're not going to do anything that's crazy, but apply some of it. Even if you feel scared or it's a little messy, we'll walk you through whatever you're like, I'm not sure. This is what I'm trying to do, but we can't ever really support people in theory, right?
I think that if you want to raise money, you have to know the underwriting like your everyday prayer. You have to. I see them when they stutter, when they are doing the presentation, they don't know what they're asking, they don't have the number. And I think that you lose credibility, right? You're talking about something that you're supposed to know.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like
why I underwrite
Yeah.
every deal that I'm a part of. And I'll call a broker, I'll underwrite, I'll capital raise, like I could do all the things. When I'm presenting to raise capital, I better know what that broker said and know that seller's buy and that market and the calculator and everyone that I'm with. Right? Because if you don't, like, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. You're just in it for the money and you don't care about your investors and the people around you. You have to have a safe place where people can come and be able to number one, trust in you, but trust and verify, right? You need to know to underwrite the deal. So once you're like, hey, I've got 50 grand, I've got 100 grand, I got 200 grand, you should know how to underwrite that deal to know that you're in a great deal. It doesn't have to be perfect, I've come a little close. I'm like, okay, I did it fast and I could see where I missed this and missed that. But I went through the whole thing. I know the numbers. And so the more you guys could do that and walk through it, like the
Yeah.
easier it gets, right? Whether you're a GP, you're an LP, you're acquisitions, asset management, capital raise, you all should know the numbers
Well,
and the market.
and if you recall, if you're going through his training, Susanna, you'll notice that Grant says, you know, if you have a good asset, it will sell itself.
Yes.
It will raise the money for you. You could be horrible talking about it and, like, you know, stuttering on stage or whatever you want to do. But if your numbers is there and you can say, hey, this is what you're getting and this is how we're planning on getting it for you, and this, the asset's going to sell it for you. You don't have to be
Right.
some great speaker or anything like that. You just, you know, as long as you have an asset and like, you have to know the underwriting, you have to know the numbers,
Yeah.
because that is going to be your selling point. You know,
I
they're
want
buying
to
the
be
asset, not
able,
you.
right. I want to be able to do this in English perfectly so I can, I mean, every single word is, I learn it in English and then I have to go to the dictionary to learn it in my own language, right?
What
I
is
Right.
your
want to
native
be
tongue?
able,
What is your native
Spanish,
tongue? Spanish?
Spanish.
Okay.
So I want to be able to speak in my own language the same thing that I'm learning, right? You will attract more people if you talk about multifamily business
Yeah.
because it's a business, right? Raising capital for this, it's a business. You don't want a building that is gonna give you trouble. Why am I? That's not business. Why? I want something that is already running, right? And if I have this, if I
You
can
got
do
this.
it in the Spanish, I got this. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you totally got this. And I'm going to say repetition is the mother of all learning.
That's
Which
exactly
put-
it.
I'm asking you guys, if we did this repeatedly every Tuesday, bringing deals, underwriting, making LOIs, and getting networking, connecting with each other, like all the things, then it's just going to be like easy peasy for you guys.
Okay.
Cool.
And I
Thank
personally
you.
wouldn't worry too much about the translation piece, to be honest. I mean, maybe 30 years ago that might have been a thing, but now I don't care. Just get your point across. So,
That's Clayton. Cut and
I
dry.
ain't
Let's
worried about it.
go.
But you have to understand it. It's like if you're learning real estate in Spanish.
Yes.
And
Oh,
you
God.
understand, and then but then you don't. How would you know how many people would you attract?
Yeah.
If Grant Cardone had someone that sell this in Spanish, he will be fucking like more. He
Love
could
it.
reach all Latin America.
Right. You're the
He will
door.
take
Let's
his-
I was
go.
gonna say you're the one. There you go.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna do
Go,
something
girl.
with this.
Let's
We're gonna
go.
do something.
Love
Pitch
it.
Uncle G. Pitch him. Why
Yeah.
not? He could just say no, either yes or no.
That's right.
Right?
Well, yeah, eventually.
David, what are you
Thank
up
you.
to? You're welcome.
What am I up to? Oh my goodness. I'm right now I'm working on the deal in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's about 38 doors.
Nice.
Perfect location. So we just submitted a LOI for it. We're just waiting for the broker to get back with us. And then I'm also working on almost thousand door deal. It's a portfolio. It's in my hometown of Oklahoma City. I'm submitting an LOI for it today. I've spoken to the broker. I feel good about it. I'm pretty sure I passed this particular complex at least 50 to 60 times when I lived there. I grew up in Oklahoma City. I love the area. So I'm looking to get real estate there. I have some friends I'm working with on this deal, so I feel like I'm on cloud nine right now.
Woohoo!
Just for what I'm doing
Congratulations.
and what's going on.
How long you been in the mentorship program?
I've been in the mentorship program for about, I'm pretty sure it's been about 4 or 5 months, maybe 6.
Look at this rock star girl.
I'm the type of person I would like to take action. I'm like, I see something, I'm going for it. And then if I make some mistakes along the way, which I hope I don't, I just learn from them.
You
Like,
will.
that's just me.
You'll make mistakes.
So I'm just like, I just learn from them and just keep moving.
That's
I
it.
like to stay positive. And I've met so many people here. I don't think I've ran into you yet, Joanna, but I think we probably met at the last wealth conference, maybe.
Mm,
But
there's
thanks
mistakes
for
from it.
including me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, David,
Anything we could do to support you to,
Thank
Dave,
you.
Dave and I just met you, what, like a month ago in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, you met me at the Roast Day Summit, Regina. So, and we had several lunches together. So you know me.
We walked a mile to the restaurant, didn't we? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You got the energy and the personality. You're going to do awesome.
yes.
Thank you so much, Regina. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Liani, what's up with you, girl?
Oh, so excited to be a part of this program. I'm just about 4 weeks in. I'm fairly new, so I like to just listen in for the most part. Eventually, I'm thinking that within a year I should have something, have a deal maybe. But for right now, there's so much to unpack, so much to learn. And while I want to jump in, and sometimes I get excited when I join some of these groups because I hear so many awesome stories. But I also want to make sure that I have some knowledge of what I'm doing.
Good. Good. So you're diving in the education?
Yes.
Super, super. I don't know if you were on when I said this, but diving into the education and taking a piece from the education and bringing it to any of the calls to say this is what I heard, learned, thought, think. How does this apply? I tried to apply. I don't understand it. Those are the questions that we just love to hear because it's easier to position once the education has laid down the foundation of it.
Right.
So as fast as you can do that is as fast as you can make all this happen. You don't have to wait a year. I did it in 90 days.
Oh,
So,
wow. I'm inspired.
yeah. So like anyone can, literally, if I can, anyone can.
Thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah. So just like David, just take massive action, get the education, start writing LOIs, connecting with people. Just make sure you're connecting with everyone. That's a huge part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then decide who you want to get married to.
Mm-hmm. Sounds wonderful. I think I kind of have an idea, but I'm learning a lot from every single group that I've joined. So, and everyone seems so awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah, date for a while and see what's up. And then meanwhile, get your education in. Start, what market do you want to play in?
Was that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking multifamily.
The market as in the state or county?
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, that would be in Massachusetts. This is kind of a very expensive market, so it's scary.
Got it.
I find it scary, yeah.
It is expensive. And once you start doing your market research, evaluate for, are they landlord friendly? What are the, rules in that area to make sure that you have a comfort level? Because to your point, that's why they call it Taxachusetts. So only because I grew up there.
Oh, okay. Welcome. Oh, well, I shouldn't say welcome. Thank you for letting me know.
Just it is a challenge, kind of like some of your bigger markets,
Right.
Massachusetts, New York, Colorado, California, some of your high ticket areas. It doesn't mean you're not going to find some sleeper.
Right.
But and then also, kind of looking it around too to see and identify also what states are landlord friendly so
Right.
that you don't have to worry so much on your multifamily when you invest. Just
Right.
kind of a little tidbit there.
Thank you so much for that information.
Absolutely. Love it. Always giving good stuff here. Good nuggets.
Absolutely. So would you, Teresa, would you recommend, I know Grant did mention that it's best to look where you live, but what do you think about going outside of Massachusetts, like maybe on the outskirts, like say Rhode Island, Connecticut?
Right. And the US is your oyster, quite frankly. Um, um, I actually did look at Rhode Island only because they're one of the few that when you look at um, tax deeds and properties, you actually get the deed and you don't have to wait a couple of years. However, I did just recently read an article like with the city of Pawtucket. They're talking about increasing taxes on non-Rhode Island resident owners, investors. They're talking about that. There's a big battle going on. I don't think it's going to pass because there was a whole lot of kickback.
Right.
But you can also look, there's been a lot of people investing in the Midwest, and, the Missouri, the Oklahoma, the Kentucky, I mean, those kind of areas. They've been looking there. So, but it's really sometimes what you're most comfortable in, but also where you're more bang for your buck, quite frankly,
Right,
when
right.
you start looking at the different markets. I know certain areas are starting to come to life again. I know there's lots of people that are looking at Texas, even though they have high property tax. But if you can get it for low enough and you can charge the right rents, it flushes out, because it's part of an operating expense. So, it's really for you to really look at. So I think, you can kind of spread your wings, look at, I've seen people look at Virginia. So which isn't too far, it's on that coastline. And it really depends on what you're looking for too, as you look at these properties.
Yeah, and bottom line, somebody's making money in that state. You just goes back to what Joanna said at the start. Just know your market, know what you got to take
Yeah.
into account, know what you don't need to worry about, and just factor it into the business model and for what you're purchasing and stuff. Because somebody's making money in that city, regardless of how expensive it is, regardless of the taxes, regardless of all this stuff. People's making money. You just got to factor it in.
Yeah. And also looking for, I know I had a lead on, which I'm going to follow up with them while I'm out there. Certain owners want to retire and they want to sell that business. So that's the in, because sometimes they'll do seller finance. Because they want to, you look at alternative creative financing rather than the traditional method. So there's those opportunities as well, potentially in your area.
Thank you so much. Lots of information, good information. I appreciate it.
Super. And then also, I wanted to add to that real quick that when Grant says to start in your own backyard, it's just so that you can start with familiarity. It may not be necessarily where you invest.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay. Thank you for getting me out of that box.
yeah,
Both of you.
it's a little confusion there. Yeah, absolutely. And also while you're doing the training, like relate to your backyard with it, and then you'll get it quicker. And then you'll realize after you get through the training that either you don't want to play in your backyard, you need to go to a place that fits your criteria. And that's, I think, where Teresa was alluding to.
Awesome.
Super. Samar, did you have something that you wanted to go over? Well, let's go. Where are you?
I've never spoken. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, so tell me what I should say about the property that I know, and then this is my very first time just trying my hand at it.
Yeah, I love it. Congratulations. All
So
right.
This is the property that I was messaging about from the deal finder. It's on the deal finder, it's showing the LTV of 29%. Retail, it says 1,098,000 for retail, and wholesale 714,162. It says it's absentee owner, high equity, delinquent tax activity. So 364,360 square feet. And when I looked it up in the Zillow app, it's they have 208 units, 208 apartments.
Where's
But
this at?
so this is in Dallas, Texas. And about that area, I'm not sure how 208 apartments could be valuing at 1 million. That's the information that's that it's showing over there on the 10x deal finder. It's just not making sense to me.
So let's run through the quick numbers real quick. Go. Pull up grants. Did you do grants calculator, the units, the market rents?
I actually did, and on there, and so there's no information on the cap rate. There's from their own website. When I searched their own website, looks like they have 17 openings, so that comes to about 92% occupancy. And expenses, I just wrote for just 40%, like estimated. Let's say if there's there's management on site, there's management on site and maintenance on site. So I'm thinking 40%, but there's no idea they've given me about cap rate because it's not on market. It's on the 10x deal finder. So it's not on market. So there's no financial information. Average market rent 2,140, number of units 208, and the price to offer for a deal comes for 49 million. That do you get the same numbers?
I come up with 50. I did 3.25 for other income because there's anything that large has some sort of other income.
Okay, so I have no idea. I put 0 for there.
And then I did a 6% cap rate.
Yeah, I just left that 6%, but so I don't understand how cap rate would work because I think the rents are pretty competitive already. So it would be hard to raise any more rent because it looks like they're pretty competitive for the area. And it's a 1990 build, so it's pretty decent shape.
Okay.
From the pictures, it looks like pretty updated with kitchen, bathroom, everything. Just from the picture, I've lived in similar area, and they look like the luxury living, like good, apartments. So that's why what's quoted there as the 1 million is not making sense to me for 208 units. So I don't know what's missing on the deal finder, or I have some wrong settings. I don't know.
Okay, so I went ahead just from the description because I can't see or know all of it. I did it at a 5 cap. And that brought it to 61 million. 3 million NOI. And I did that because the cap rate can go pretty low in Dallas. The fact that it's not an A, I didn't really go too low, but the fact that it's not a C, I don't want it to be too low or too high. So I went ahead and I did it at 5. And again, this is just a North Star to see if it is worth diving into. Okay. So what's the average price per unit in that area?
So one bedrooms a few years ago, a 2 bedroom, 2 bath few years ago in uptown Dallas. This is pretty much uptown Dallas. was 1,800. And in this property, there are two bed, two baths are going for 2,200 to 2,400 something.
Okay, so the price per unit is like 100,000, 200, 300,000. What is normal for that area?
Oh, okay. So I was talking about the rent. Price
Right.
price per unit. I don't know. You I
So
don't.
this is what I'm, something to chew on, right? Because if you know your market, and you know that in this area, this is the cap rate. So looking and making sure that's what it is. And then the typical price per unit is around 100,000, 200, 300, whatever it is, right? So when one comes on the market or is offered to you from a broker because you built a relationship, you know that your standard is around 200,000 per unit, right? And so if something comes in at 300,000, you're like, this doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Okay. But when it comes in at 200,000, it stands up like Waldo. You're like, oh, this is one I that looks like something I would buy. Because
Yeah, because this seems like a steal if the price they're showing is correct for 1 million, because in the history of the purchase and the loan history, it was last sold in 22 for 27 million. So I don't understand how it's retailing at 1 million.
it's not. It's not.
So it's wrong information, right?
Yeah. So it's county records. And here's what I always say about any kind of software that you use. This is for anything that you use. Nothing is 100%. And they pull from county records. So you have somebody at county records that's getting paid 12, 15 bucks an hour, doesn't care about their job. They only have to process 12 files in order to keep their job. There's a lot of errors, clerical errors that happen. That is like, yes, happens all the time. So I would say that's a clerical error on the county's part. So is there a broker you could call? What I also heard, Samar, was some tax issues. Is this going to foreclosure? Are they not paying their taxes or tax lien?
So from the deal finder, it just says loan history. They say that this person borrowed this much in this year. So they're saying that like that. And there's just a highlight that says delinquent tax activity, but the detailed information is not there. And I don't know how to find the delinquent tax activity for a property, particular property from the county records. I don't know how to do that yet. So I was trying to go through the process of learning how to find it, because these are public records. There's so much education involved. It's I was like just boggled with so many things just with one example. But so, and those are supposed to be free records, the county public records, but I don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah.
So
You could go on the state county records, property profile, public records,
okay.
and you can either A, get a property profile from the county, and usually it's like, it could be like 20 bucks or something like that.
Okay, so yeah.
Or if you have a software that gets that, so I use Property Radar and I just click the button and it gives me all the data that I need.
Okay.
There is, and there's Deal Finder, there's all these different softwares that you could use to gather data. But even
Are
going
they all
to the-
paid, or are they free, or you have to
some
pay
are
for?
free, some are paid.
Tell me one free one. That is a good one. I'll start with that.
County Records is the free.
Okay.
You want to build a relationship with a title company. They can get you
Okay.
a lot of data as well.
Okay. So I'll do some more search, and so seems like um this is how you underwrite. There's some information that I'm missing, like unit price, and what else? I know the area and county records. What else can I find more
Yeah,
before
well,
we properly
why
underwrite?
they're selling is always number one. So why are you looking in Dallas? Why did you choose?
I live in Texas. I live in DFW area.
Okay,
So I was
perfect.
just looking for something that's close by.
Perfect.
So I
Okay, and on the
understand.
deal finder, what stood out to you was the $1 million versus the $60 million that it is?
27 million, it was
Yeah.
the loan was 27 million on in 2022, the person who borrowed last time, and then it's saying that it's wholesale for 713,000 and retail price 1,098,000. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense for 208 units. It's a pretty, it's nice area in the
Mhm.
in a Dallas uptown area. So, and especially the rates have gone skyrocket high in DFW area in past 2-3 years. So if it was in 90s when it was built, I could probably think, but today it's not gonna value.
Well, so some more, maybe maybe I heard the little golden nugget here. Did you say that the retail was valued at $1 million?
Yeah.
It sounds like that's where you're getting that $1 million number. So the retail piece of the property is $1 million. I don't think that's, now I might be wrong because I'm not seeing what you're seeing, but it doesn't sound like that is the price for the units for the multifamily section of it.
Are you
Um,
saying there's a retail, commercial building below? Is that what you're saying, Clayton? Yeah, is there other
Yes.
activities like a
no.
restaurant
So
or anything below?
there's they have their garage on the first floor, and second and third floor are apartments. So 104 apartments on second level and 104 apartments on third level. So that's how they make 208 units.
So
And
where's the retail coming from?
that's just I actually don't even know how to share the screen and stuff yet, but
There's the green button on the bottom. Hover your mouse over it. Are you on your phone or your computer?
I'm on my computer, but I have like so many tabs open. It's kind of embarrassing.
That
I
is
don't want to.
so not right. None of us have more than 2 tabs open at a time.
No, it's really
My only guess is that since you mentioned delinquent tax, that maybe that million is the outstanding property tax on a,
no. So there was so much like funny information, literally funny information over there, but now it's not opening.
Have you spoke to a broker? Like, is it?
No, this is
I've not dealt with the deal finder, so I don't know if it has brokers listed. But they've got to be somebody that has that listing.
Well, no, it's off market.
Oh, is it? It's an off market deal. Sorry, I didn't
yeah.
catch it.
So it's like before they go to market. I guess that's the idea, but I won't even like the first caller was saying that I won't even be good with talking to a broker, and this is before market, so I have no idea how you
Well,
can talk to somebody even before it's on market.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I would definitely gather the data that you can. And then in the deal finder, which I would love it if you can share your screen. Regina, do you have deal finder?
It just seems like it's froze, but it's a
Yeah, I do.
Do you know what it says in the doohickey, where she's saying that a retail? So is it saying, I'm not familiar with the deal finder.
so there, deal finder, there's address, there's like blue highlighted areas. It will say absentee owner, high equity, delinquent tax activity, free and clear, that kind of stuff. LTV is showing 29%, retail $1,098,710, wholesale $714,162.
So who does she contact on that, Regina?
You know, I can't get him a deal finder. It says I'm suspended, even though it was just renewed. So I can't even get into it right now.
It's
Does anybody else got a deal finder?
um
No?
like I'm clicking on it, it's just not doing anything.
You clicked on the green button below?
I'm clicking on because I saved the property because I wanted to like do more work on it, and it's not doing anything when I click on it.
Okay. Well, I would say since we're gonna go ahead and, meet every Tuesday, get
Okay.
everything you can.
Okay.
You have my contact number, you have Clayton's. Let me see.
What market are we in?
This is DFW, Texas.
Okay.
So that we can, if you need something in between today and next Tuesday, feel free to jump and book a call, but,
Okay.
let's see if we can help dial this in and understand your deal finder.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Wish we could have been more help. Awesome. Okay, anyone else have anything?
Hey, Jana. I'm Suhaimi. How are you?
So, hi, man,
Good to
nice to
see
see
you.
you. Good to see you.
Yeah. I'm new to the Grand Garden mentorship. I just joined like last few weeks.
Nice.
So,
Congratulations.
yeah, I saw you've done a lot of good deals and a lot of good words for you. So I like to learn from you. Like, how was your journey? Like your turning point? The first few deals, how did it run for
You missed
you?
my throw up moment, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I just joined.
Yeah, someone asked me what was my throw up moment in real estate. I've had a few, I'm not gonna lie. And in multifamily, it was very I'll just be brief here. It was really just understanding and playing team. That was the hardest part for me is because I'm used to doing all of it, all the asset management, the raising, the underwriting, the acquisition, the negotiating, the all the things, right? And I needed to pick a spot to be in. And that was tough for me to understand how that worked in multifamily. It's like going from a general practitioner to a brain surgeon. Like it's a whole nother language to speak on. Even though I have real estate experience, it was a different language for me. So it was tough. Actually going through the motion, knowing that we were in contract and knowing that we're gonna do 61 units. Holy shit. That was crazy. That was crazy. And because I went from doing onesie twosies to 61 units in one transaction, and I've waited a long time to do that. So, and it was really just leaning like, I mean, you got so many people inside this group to lean on. It's leaning on other people to be able to talk to the brokers, to write the LOIs, to do the capital raise, to build the connections, and that's another reason why we opened up this space here is so that people can connect, like a round table to, ask questions, interject with your experience or non-experience that you want to, jump forward with. And what I've learned is one of the reasons I didn't want to play team was because I don't want to get married to just anybody. Right. And so I had to choose my team, which is Clayton here, Clayton Garland and Teresa Fox. We courted for a long time before we really made it official. And it's something I don't take lightly. I'm not just going to jump into any old relationship, JV as we call it. Right. Mm-hmm. So, those are some learning things that I did. I did my first deal within 90 days. The 61 units, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a capital raiser, a asset management or acquisitions, which lane did I want to really play in. So capital raising was chosen for me. And so once we got in that deal, that was when I put my blinders on and they connected with 611 investors and raised 1.4 million to help close that deal. So lots of learnings and lots of scary moments, laughs, cries, crazies, and we're still going through the deal. Like we're all still married together. We meet on a weekly basis and go over, what's going on with the property and how we're revitalizing it. My job is investor relations to make sure that everyone knows what's going on with the thing, who invested with us. So. Does that help? Any questions on any of that?
Yeah. That helps because I'm transitioning from single family to multifamily, and I got like a few hiccups, and I like to learn from a lot of seniors like you. So, for example, I try to capital raising, and let's say I talk to like 10 different people that I know, and then the people that I know, they don't want to invest. The people that I don't know, and they invest. So I'm kind of confused. I mean, how did you start to get it to work?
I connected with strangers. And so the more I connected with strangers, and it's so funny because, you know, we were raised stranger danger, don't talk to strangers. But you have to. This is, you know, why yet another call is important, because different people are going to come to this call versus other calls and other calls. And you know, and you get to connect, right? And so the more
Yeah.
you connect and have that relationship, the easier it is to raise capital. And and Grant goes through this. When your family hears that you're doing something, they're going to go, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
And then you have haters, and then they think you're amazing. But you got to get through the hate part first, and
I see.
they try and pull you back, right? So your friends and family might not jump on right away.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Grant even mentions that his sister took a long time to invest with them. And then she dumped in 200,000 because she saw that he was doing the thing. She had to get the proof first, right? Because to
Yeah.
your family, you're just the kid of the family. That's who they remember. They don't know the business person that well,
I
right?
see.
So you got to go through those steps of, you know, until you get to the admiration of, look at what you've done. Oh my God, I want to invest with you. So your family's not always necessarily first.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
lots of networking. That's all I gotta say. Lots of networking.
Yeah, and also when I talk to like some of like the brokers or like investment group manager, when they wanna sell some of the properties, and when I said, can I get like more details like T12 or M things, and they ask me, oh, do you have a proof of fund to show something like that? And I don't, which I don't. And I said, I'm trying to raise fund, and they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, you just gave them the big no by saying that. So what I suggest, and this may or may not work for you, is let them know that you're part of an acquisitions team and that you're getting data to bring back to your team, right? And then create that team. So my team gets to say, we have 134 doors. We have 13 million in assets under management. We're looking to grow a portfolio. What do you got for us? We're ready to close. And the broker goes, damn, okay, I got this, because they're wanting a commission. But when you just call them and ask for information, and they don't know your credibility or think you're going to close, they don't want to waste your time. They don't want to waste their time. So
And
and then they shut you down with asking for proof of funds.
And keep in mind, the proof of funds, they're not asking you for your, you know, the $14 million or whatever
Right.
the asset is, right? They're only asking, can you really do the down payment? Which that number is significantly lower, right? You know, now you're talking about maybe, you know, in some cases, 150, 200, 300,000, 600,000. It's that number they're really looking for, because they, you know, they're not asking for the 14 millions, the whole price of the property.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, it was like a 10 million property, and then but the down payment will still like in millions, which I don't have. That's
Yeah, well, you know, none of us have that. So, and that's okay. And that's why we're, you know, leaning on the bank, leaning on each other and playing team, because that's how it's all going to happen.
yeah. I see.
I love
Hey,
it.
Joanna, could you say what you said one more time
What did I say?
about having an acquisitions team and you're just taking information back? I just wanted to notate that real quick.
Sure. Let the broker know that you're part of an acquisitions team, and I need to get the T12 and rent roll. We have 134 doors, and we're looking to expand in this area. What do you got? How do we close this one? If not this one, what?
Thank
That one?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. It takes the pressure off y'all to perform, to like posture. Grant talks about posture all the time, right? It's hard to have posture when you're like, I'm trying to ask for something that I think I'm gonna buy for like millions of dollars, but I don't have millions of dollars, and I'm like, I don't know. And so it kind of gets that way. So if you could just like the posture, drop it, go like, I ain't got it. And I'm gonna tell you up front, I'm just part of the team. I'm the acquisitions. And so then you speak differently too, because you took that pressure off of yourself.
I see.
So good. Glad I can help. Anything else for anyone? Otherwise, we'll wrap up this call. It's a couple hours in. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. I learned a lot. Thank you, John.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome. You're welcome, Ben. Any last final closing thoughts?
What
Alright.
else? What was like your most difficult moment in doing the deals that you have experienced?
Raising the money. That's
It was
that's
all the
always
connection calls. Yeah. It was not necessarily raising the money, having the money conversation was one thing. So if I'm gonna chop that up, it was the time allotted for all the connection calls I had to do. I think that was the toughest.
And then making sure that you get a sense for, is this the right connection for this deal?
Yeah.
So that you're not, so
I've
that you
gone
know
through the
that they have the
questions
money to
and-
bring to the table.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I studied SEC law. That was another thing to make sure I was compliant.
That's right.
And that was a big deal for me. I had so many questions. I freaked out. I'm like, oh, that's wrong. Oh my God. Ah, ah. So there was a lot of that. I'm not gonna lie.
I
But
see.
it was definitely fun. And I think I love why I'm staying in this lane is because I love the connection. I really love connecting with people. So David says I'm the same way. I love it. Super. And I've gotten to know Regina and several people on the call that they're all good people. I haven't met any one person. I'm not going to go, oh, watch out for so and so. Like I haven't seen any of that in here, so it's just a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of let's get the damn deal done. Let's go.
I see.
So yeah, feel free to ask anyone anything, and if you're not getting your answers, go to the next or whatever, go where you need to go, be a demand for coaching, go get it. Be a demand for knowledge.
Okay.
You're welcome. All right, cool. Well, I'll see you guys inside of the chat and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Thank you everyone so much.
Thank you.
That was fun.